morning, good afternoon, good evening to all my wonderful and beautiful little lovelies out there. And how I love you all, so, and I hope that you're all super duper well, super duper wonderful, and super duper delicious. And that life is treating you most deliciously. So I hope that we're feeling the love. We continue to feel the love, my little honey buddies. Now then, so what's the time, Mr. Walsh? The time is nearly 11 a.m. on the 28th of July 2026, my delicious babies. And the sun has got his hat on. Hip, 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 hooray. Okay, so it's quite warm today. It is a little windy, but it is, I would say, a beautiful weather today. Okay, it's nice just to have a little bit of wind. You know what I mean, my delicious babies, anyway. And I hope that wherever you are in the world, that life is treating you most deliciously, my little beautifuls. Maze, sorry. I'm sorry about that, my delicious little babies. It's all right. I just had a rather stressful day yesterday. It was just one thing after another yesterday. Okay, my delicious little babies. I've got my beautiful little. I mean, I adore my beautiful little babies. I really do. But you know, I've got my beautiful little Ridge. You know, she just barks at everything. Okay. And you know, sometimes it can drive you flipping crazy, man. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I adore her; she's so beautiful. But and then I got my beautiful little Maisie Moo because I too adore her as well. And she's taxi's just gone up there. You know, one of these black cabs. It's now green. It says no fillers. Okay, my delicious little baby. Sorry, let me get back to matter in hands. My beautiful little Maisie Moo. Well, you know, I say certain things now, and then she jumps up. Okay, now, you know, she's having something else to eat now. Okay, my delicious babies, mind you. We're blessed to eat, aren't we, my delicious babies? Which leads me on, but I hope that, you know, wherever you are, my little beautifuls, that life is treating you most deliciously. Now, yeah, so I've got two videos today for you, my delicious babies. It's just that the past couple of days, I woke up better this morning. Usually, you know, I'm hunky-dory tickety-boo every day. It's a rarity that I'm not. It's just yesterday was just one thing after another. It was rather stressful, and well, you know, if I feel a bit stressed, I will say, you know what I mean. And yesterday was one of those days. I came out and the little babies now. And so the first video. So this was uploaded. How long ago now? I think it was 4 days ago. I came out to the little babies, and the uploader is called, with anybody not in that way, not in that way, the uploader is called capital W, where, then space in little writing, on, and then space capital E, earth. So I'll repeat this again for you, my delicious babies. Where on earth with spaces. Okay, my delicious babies, the upload happens to have 48.4 thousand subscribers, my delicious babies, and the video, which is almost an hour long, okay, should read: Bosnia, the country Europe pretends doesn't exist. Okay, my delicious babies, I'm just going to repeat this again for you. Bosnia, the country Europe pretends doesn't exist. 4K travel documentary. Okay, my delicious babies. Now, please do not quote me, but the Bosnia War, I mean, that was 1992 to 1995, wasn't it, my delicious babies? Yes. Well, I've just started to watch this video, my delicious babies, and I shall continue to watch it, okay? Of course I will, okay? But this is what happens, isn't it, my delicious babies? You know, like countries, they can end up in a war when it's nobody's fault being in that war, okay, my delicious babies? You know, it's like ones are forced to do things. It's usually somewhere far out where they do these wars, my delicious babies, and well, usually anyway. But after all said and done, the countries are then destroyed unless somewhere they can rebuild themselves. Okay, my delicious babies, and then, you know, well, basically, most cannot very sadly, be bothered to talk about it. So you do not seem to hear, well, I have not anyway, of late, to do with Bosnia. But, we must never forget, must we? And the damage that's been caused to many different countries due to somebody else giving the orders. My delicious little babies, in my ear just went a little bit then when I just said, there we are, when I just said that, my delicious little babies, yes. So every now and again, I just like to bring things up now, things, two-way. You know what I mean? Mad little babies. So I am going to watch the rest of that. But it's like what's happened is, okay, my beautiful little Maze, I'm very sorry about this mad little babies. She cannot help it, but I don't know what's happening with my babies lately. Mad little babies. Okay, either they're restless or I don't know what's going on. But the energies are all over the place. I had a little baby robin yesterday come right in my path. Okay, and like I say, for most. Whenever they see a robin, it's good luck for myself. I'm going to hear bad news. And of course, I did yesterday. Anyway, I'm not going into. Anyway, that's not what my video is about now. Delicious little babies. Okay, um, so I just like to point things out now. Okay, and the damage that it does to other countries. I myself personally cannot stand wars. I personally see no reason for them. I know that there's others, in alternative media. I've heard different videos, and some will say we need wars. No, we do not need wars. I'm not talking to who I would advertise. I'm not talking about those beautiful little lovelies now. Not in that way, not in that way, apart from one. I'm not talking about those, okay? But when I've heard, here and there, well, we need wars. No, we do not need wars. We do not need anything like that now to delicious babies, okay? Because the way I see it is, it's a form of culling, because that's what it is. And if they're not, what do they call it, missing in action? Uh, well, I mean, were they really, bless their dear souls, anybody who participated in wars, were they really missing in action? Because after all, as we very well know, my delicious babies, if you look deeply enough, you'll find that there's a lot of just going over the dots. Organ harvesting, isn't there, my delicious little babies? You go to sleep and you wake up minus a kidney. You know what I mean? My delicious little babies, yes. But of course, this goes on in a lot of different countries, and of course, nobody helps the. Sorry, yeah, stumbled there, rightfully so. Um, nobody helps war veterans in many countries, from what I can see. And everybody's just left to their own devices, aren't they? I really wouldn't say that's a good way to live, would you, my delicious babies? Hmm? I'm just saying, my delicious babies, that's all that I'm saying. Anyway, okay, but bless anybody in the wars, okay? Because, and I'll repeat this again, nobody would get up in the morning and say, right, I'm going to kill somebody, I'm going to shoot somebody, I'm going to blow somebody's noddle off their head. They just wouldn't do that. They've been very falsely, there we are, given this, we must do this for our country. Well, I mean, come on. What do other countries do to other countries? They do not do anything, my delicious babies. And anyway, I could talk about this forever and a day. So I'm just going to leave it like that, my delicious babies. But at the start of this video, it's talk about basically that, Bosnia is sort of removed from the map. I mean, going back decades ago, I remember Yugoslavia. They used to have in town, because I used to live, not live, I used to work not far from there, my delicious babies, just a hop, skip and a jump as a walk into town, 10 minutes. And you used to have a Yugoslavia tours, and everything. It's like a holiday, like travel agents. And then, everybody knew it was there forever. And then one day, it was gone. Do you know what I mean? Mad delicious babies. But it's quite amazing, isn't it, to do with wars where, especially when it comes to old buildings and things like that. So they'll leave part of it and then they'll like bomb other parts. So it's quite amazing, isn't it, mad delicious babies? You know what I mean? Because if you wanted to totally demolish something, wouldn't you just get rid of the whole lot? Or is that sort of tormenting somebody as if to say, okay, well, that's what you did have and that's what you now got? Okay? So that's what I want to say there. No, then mad delicious babies, but my heart goes out to all who very sadly have been pushed into these situations, okay, and their families, okay, because everybody suffers, okay. But at least more are cottoning on now. Cotton Eye Joe. That was a song, weren't it? Cotton Eye Joe. You know what I mean? Mad Delicious Babies, what year was that song? It just came into my noddle. Anyway, Mad Delicious Babies, now the final video for today. This uploader happens to have 10.6 thousand subscribers, Mad Delicious Little Babies. And this uploader, and of course, both of these uploaders will more than likely be a one-off. Okay, Mad Delicious Babies, as I keep repeating, I do advertise who I advertise who I listen to all the time, okay? And I like to make a point, there we are, of doing that, okay? Because not only do we need to get the numbers up, but whoever I advertise, especially regularly, they have a world of information. There we are, extremely educational, and I'm very happy to always advertise them as a hobby. Okay, my delicious babies now. Anyway, and bless them. I really enjoy listening to all the videos. Okay, my delicious babies. Sometimes I'm really flipping howling. I find things that are really utterly flipping hilarious. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, it sort of takes it away from other things that are going on, doesn't it, my delicious babies? Yes. Anyway, so this uploader is called Capital M, the rest in little writing. This is one word together. I'll spell it for you, my delicious babies. M for mother, V for Victor, then S for Sally the snake. Yeah, there's a lot of snakes, isn't there, my delicious babies in the world? Yeah. K for kitten. Yeah, there's a lot of pussycats. I'll tell you about that in a minute, my delicious babies. Yes. OKE. So it should, if I'm pronouncing this correctly, apologies to the uploader if I've got this wrong. M the Skoke. M the Skoke. M the Skoke. Is it M the Skoke? MVSKOKE. M Skoke. Sorry about the spoke. Like you imagine when you're a little baby and you're learning to read, it's like Mama, Dada, Nana, or they say in different countries, Papa, Mama. Well, this is me today, my babies. Mavskoke. Okay, back to the suppose, okay. I'm having one of these go back to a baby moment, you know what I mean? Okay. It's just very difficult to pronounce. I mean, you've got lots of different countries with different um, pronunciations for names or places or do you know what I mean? It's just very difficult to pronounce sometimes, Mards and Little Babies. Anyway, and then space capital M Media. So that's the upload of Mards and Little Babies. I'm sorry for going around the houses, but sometimes it's a bit of a tongue twister. You know what I mean? Mards and Little Babies. Now then, again, this video is nearly an hour long as well. Okay, very interesting. One of the comments here, I only looked at a couple, Mards and Little Babies, but I happened to be mentioning about barren the other day. Barren as in if you can see our grass at the moment, there are many who are clearly not very happy with the way that our grass is looking. My delicious babies, it's completely. We haven't seen it like this forever. Okay, the grass is really trying to grow. It's trying to push through the green. Okay, but it's barren. It's like something that the only way I can explain it, it's like, if you go on holiday and you go to somewhere like a really, really super hot destination, but so you go into the city, you go into places, or you go around the gardens where everything looks nice and green because it's always been continuously watered and the flowers have been watered. But then you can go to another part, which could be on the outskirts of wherever you've travelled to abroad, and because it's not been fully watered or something, it looks a completely different colour, like our grass. Okay, man, babies for man. So that's why I said barren. But in one of these comments, you're dear man, babies. But in of course, we could say barren. There's a lot of barons, isn't there, man, babies? But the point of the matter is, man, babies, okay, is that what I'm actually saying to you, my delicious babies, is this. I'm not saying that we're not enjoying this beautiful weather, but it's done something to the grass this year. My flowers, thankfully, are still growing. Okay, my delicious babies, so that is a bonus because I've had a couple of years where they just haven't been thriving at all, surviving or thriving at all. Okay, my delicious babies, but it seems that whatever's taken place is allowing ourselves to at least grow some flowers. My delicious babies. So I'm not complaining about that. Let me just get back to the matter in hand to do with that comment. So the word barren was mentioned, that somebody, had a viewer had typed. And right at the end of this comment, words to effect, when everything's barren and everything like this now, then you cannot eat kaching money. I've been saying this, there we are, whatever o'clock. Other alternative media, of course, themselves too. There we are, who are intelligent. Okay, my babies have also been saying this. There we are, whatever o'clock. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so that's the point I'm making. Okay, I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm getting across in my camera. Okay, and that's what I'm saying. It's very interesting sometimes to just take a little look just at the comments, please and thank you, you know what I mean? So I've always said sometimes it's amazing what you find. Anyway, my delicious little babies, now then, this was uploaded 12 years ago, and the video should read Philip Deere, spelled Deere, archival footage. Okay, my delicious babies. So this is like like with the feathers, like a native Indian, like that. And he's given a speech. Now I'm halfway through it. I started to listen to it yesterday, but I was stopping and starting with my videos because it was one of those days yesterday, my delicious baby's case. So so it's like that. So I need to listen to the other half today. But your man here now is certainly having his say, and this is in black and white. My delicious little babies. That's the video itself in black and white. Okay. So far I enjoyed listening to the video. Okay, my delicious little babies. Now then, so just quickly put my video, not my video, my book over there, my book over there. So yeah, so I do have good news, and then I do have not so good news. Okay, my delicious little babies. Now, I do not come onto my videos just to depress everybody, okay? Because I neither want to depress yourselves, neither do I wish to depress myself. Okay, my delicious little babies. So I got a message, not yesterday evening, the evening before, to ask myself, if to do with some allotments that are not far from where I live, my delicious little babies, basically. And are looking for like a little pussycat, okay? So fast forward, I said, okay, what I'll do, that doesn't mean no, my delicious baby. So I said, okay, I said, they said, they give the number to your woman there now then, whose little pussycat had gone missing. And because I had a little tracker for the little pussycat, led to the allotments on this little tracker. But then it disappeared. So whether the battery, went dead or something, we don't like that word. We seem to hear a lot about that word lately, Don't we, Martinish little babies? Yes, rightfully stumbled in there. Uh, batteries, Anyway, Martinish little babies. So I said yes. He said okay. I said I'll be there for 10 a.m. in the morning. So I went there, and I just thought, oh, okay. I thought, well, maybe I can, call a number that's, common sense, ding, ding, dong, dong thing to do, so that somebody can unlock the gate, because it's very well tended to, these allotments, and you have to walk in and walk up to it, okay? I've been here 10 and a half years, Martin, little babies. I have kept looking over there, you know what I mean? I thought I must go and inquire, to see if I could just have a little plot. Well, anyway, I did that yesterday, Martin, little babies. This is good news that I'm telling you this part. So then somebody managed to let us in, like trying to find somebody, to help us. And so we couldn't find the little pussycat. Plus, just down the road, just a short way from myself, our beautiful little sweet little baby, he's still missing. He's 19. He's so beautiful. It's really upset me this house. Anyway, I went out looking for him the other day, as I said on the other video. So we couldn't find your woman there's little baby either. So I inquired about a little plot, and it's not so expensive. They do have some room. There's room in the inn. You know what I mean? I was really fascinated. I was walking around. I was saying to who was walking us around, we're looking for the little pussycat as well, beautiful. Anyway, he came home yesterday evening, so I received a message late yesterday evening to say that he's returned home very safely, and he was meowing at the back door. Okay, Martin, she's the babies, but he'd gone for a number of days. Bless him. Anyway, so for a small fee each year, you can have a tiny little plot. So I thought, right, okay. So I took to who it was, his number, bless, okay. And I said, because it's all to do with the committee or something. So I'll give him a call later on, and his dear little wife, okay, because I only met them yesterday. So I will give him a call, and I'll see whether I can speak to somebody on the committee, and then I should go and get a little plot. It's not far from where I live, Mards, little babies anyway. So I genuinely feel, taxi, taxi. So another black cab. That one's black this time, Mards, little babies, but these days they're different colours, green, yellow, whatever, all the colours of the rainbow, Mards, little babies, orange, I don't know, red. Anyway, Mards, little babies, so that's that situation, okay? But then I was then told some sad news. I mean, I did ask. I said, so, well, because I explained that there's a large number of pussycats who are going missing around our road and our area, Martin, okay? Now, something like this happened years ago, and that was to do with Chinese restaurant, Martin, Babies, okay? And of course, they got closed down. But when I walked in there, I never liked the energy of the place. I just felt the energy was off. Okay, Martin, and that was many years ago. Okay, and then of course I found out the reason why. Okay, I mean, for a start off, when they were selling little ribs, I mean, the little ribs were like that. Usually if you've got a spare, these spare ribs, they're like this, aren't they? They're all like this. They're not like that, are they? My delicious babies, but of course, when I found out, well, of course, I was very saddened by that. Well, thankfully, I didn't go near that part of the food, my delicious little babies. Anyway, I prefer the seaweed and everything myself. You know what I mean? My delicious babies, yes, and mushrooms, yes. Anyway, so what somebody said to myself was, "Your man there, bless." Not in that way, not in that way. He said, I said, so well, can you explain? I said, so that we sort of know, the reason why. And I said that, and he said, no, it's not because of that. I said, okay. I said, well, then what's the other reason? And to be honest with you, I never spared a thought about it. I've got to be honest, I never. But I thought, okay, I get it now. And he said, well, if I tell you me and your other woman there who was, looking for a little pussycat, bless, that we were helping. And he said, I cannot untell you. I said, oh. I said, well, what's this about? And it's only sort of what I suppose, happened. I don't know. He's probably heard it from someone else, whatever. I don't know. That's the part I do not know. But, you always hear something from someone, don't you, Martha babies? But it turns out that, and it's so very, very sad, Martha babies, so I'm not here to upset or offend anybody, but, well, they take them to do with, I prefer to call them our little babies, dog fighting. Well, of course, Martha babies, that played on my noddle all flipping day, that did. It still is now, Martha babies. I mean, how you imagine the fear that those beautiful little pussycats have been. Okay, Martha babies, but of course, this dog fighting's gone on. It's gone on forever, hasn't it, Martha babies? You know what I mean? But it's putrid, man. I mean, these dogs. I mean, I hate calling them dogs. I like to call them our beautiful little son's daughters, babies. But the fact of the matter is, Martha babies, okay, is that at the end of the day, that is somebody's beautiful little babies. And these dogs, Mardelistic babies, okay? Well, they never came into the world to be vicious, did they? Okay, Mardelistic baby. But obviously somebody's told whoever it was. You know what I mean? He must have been told by some. Do you understand what I mean? This is what's happened. It's like, because I can walk around and I get told all sorts of things, you know what I mean? Mardelistic babies, okay? But it's just heartbreaking and it's just sad. I mean, why do this? Do you know what I mean, Martelish baby? But why do this? Why make animals fight like that? Why do these things? Just it really bothered me, Martelish babies. You know what I mean? Anything like that. I mean, part of me wished that I never asked. But then the other part, we've got to get real here, haven't we, Martelish babies? What goes on? But it's really putrid to flipping know that this even exists. Martelish babies anyway, so that's the end of my video. So there is good news. So I shall get my little plot and then I shall start growing things. Now, as soon as I get my little plot, apparently, and I spoke to others, so okay, because my other little spuds are still growing up to about here now. So if I plant them, in the allotments, in my little plots, well, I'll have some spuds by the fake Crimbo. They'll be ready then. Okay, babies, okay. So in the meantime, thankfully I could get, spuds from a shop, do you know what I mean? But anyway, well, it's all a learning curve, isn't it, Mads, babies? But for anybody, I mean, there may be many of you out there, Mads, babies, who already are aware of that. Do you understand what I mean? Already aware of, do you know what I'm saying? Yes, but I personally was not aware of it. So I'm pretty sure that maybe whoever that was, when he was like, he wasn't aware of it. No, nobody's really aware of it, are they? Mardelistic babies, especially when you're going, around with your everyday life. But no, there's been a lot of little pussycats disappearing, Mardelistic babies. You know what I mean? It's putrid and it's disgusting and it's vile. Okay, Mardelistic babies. We can only hope that these, whoever they are, is because it's happening in our country, it's happening in all different countries, Martelish babies. Not just, I mean, I've known about the dog fighting, you know what I mean, for decades, but what I'm saying is that, but it's happening in all different countries. It's not just ours, Martelish babies, it's happening in a lot of places. Okay, Martelish babies, but it's so very, 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 very sad, okay? And the ending is not good at all, is it? So we can only hope that whoever these are, that they change their ways. Okay, because in whatever our definition is of normal, for these to behave in such a way? What would make mankind behave in that way to want to see that, to want to pay for that? It's not good, is it, Martin? Little babies, okay, but sometimes on my videos we have to talk about things, you know what I mean? But I get told lots of different things, Martin, little babies, you know what I mean? Anyway, so that's that. So when I get my little plot, I'll show you. Yeah, it's only a little patch. It's not a lot, Martin, little babies, but you know that's how you start, don't you? You know, you start with a little tiny bit, and then you know it extends, doesn't it? It gets larger. You know what I mean? So once I've learned my first part, well, I'm already learning right now in my garden, my babies, but once I learn with a little patch, then it'll get, there we are, larger, won't it, my babies? Then I can go and get a larger little plot. You know what I mean? It probably costs you a little bit more, but well, it's worth it, isn't it? And not only that, but I can get others if they want to come and help me. You know, we can all muck in together, as the old-fashioned saying goes. You know, not in that way, not in that way. We can muck in together, and we can, you know, be growing and learning to grow food together. Do you see what I mean? So I always like to have a positive mental attitude. Do you know what I mean? Marvelous babies. Anyway. So whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, please have a super duper delicious time. You only get one life, my little honey bunnies. Sending peace, love, harmony, and bright blessings to each and every one of you. And may your beautiful little selves and your beautiful little families, may you all be fully protected. And how I love you so. Okay? You're super duper wonderful, super duper delish, super duper. Sorry, rewind and start again. Super duper beautiful and delish, and I love you. Okay. Thank you for any views, for any likes, and the occasional comments. Okay. I might sound a little bit flat today. Okay. The reason why is because did I really want to do a video? Did I or didn't I? Anyway, I've done it now, and that's that. Okay. But when you hear such sad news and everything, it's just, you know, it does, sometimes it does get to you. Okay, Martin, babies, never mind, never mind. Today's a new day. I'm glad the one little pussycat's come back. I'm still worried, sick, and dreadfully sick about this little baby down the road. I'm very worried about that little baby there now. Then still, the other one hasn't come back. The lovely little baby down the road either hasn't come back either. So you know, I'm just very worried about it all. Okay, mad to little babies, it shouldn't be happening in the first place. So so very much love to you, okay? You just take care now then. Nobody really listens to my videos, but there's always somebody seeing, there's always someone hearing. Okay, my little babies. So thank you so very much. You just look after now. I hope that the weather's beautiful wherever you are. Okay. I love you very much. Thank you for listening once again. Take care. Thank you. Goodbye.